Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode on the Dark Rooms podcast. It's me, your host, the best.
The best?
Yeah, I asked myself and I said I was the best, so therefore I'm the
Debatable.
best. It's me, Psychic. We got our favorite super smart theorist underscore. We got
Thank
the
you.
man, the myth, the lemon, probably like the person who brings the best personality to this. Like, actual personality, not... Ozone. We got Ozone.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we got the new Oversleeper and our favorite green boy,
What have
Inkyink.
I overslept?
I thought you were gonna say that we and we have Inky.
No.
I'm upset with my description. I want to be a good theorist.
You are a good theorist.
You are a
You
good
make
theorist.
videos. That's a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just, have to, like, make them all different, so I have to choose.
Fellas, why did we start comparing each other? We are a team. And today
Comparing is
we're...
caring.
We are Team Dark
Comparing
Rooms.
is care.
We are Team Dark Rooms.
Oh my
We're gonna
gosh.
move into our own YouTuber house in like a month. Cause those never fail. Anyways, today we're back with the episode that actually a lot of people have been actually waiting for. Timeline Part 2. So if you haven't seen the first part, check out it. It's in the description. Check it out. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe. 6 subs away from 369 subs. Just saying. Putting that out there. And yeah. So timeline.
I wasn't here for the first timeline episode, so could someone just catch me up really quick, just as a quick Spark Notes summary?
We got to the bite of 83.
Great, that's a very early point in the timeline.
It
Yeah.
took us an hour to get
But-
there.
I believe we probably did cover a very contentious idea that myself and a few
Ooh.
other people had recently.
Yes. That
What was that?
It was an attempt to solve Midnight Motorist and FNaF 4's experiment rooms.
Ooh, and how'd that go? What was the results of that?
Andrew.
Should we tell him?
I just did.
Andrew is the one that both his Okay. Andrew was kidnapped in Midnight Motorist and is the FNaF 4 experiment victim. That's why he is so much more vengeful than everyone else.
This
That
is
is
something
An interesting
I'm
idea.
still actually debating because everyone thinks obviously the Midnight Motorist house is William's house, right? But underscore is saying it's Andrew's and
Andrews?
my huh?
You said and I said ruse.
Whatever.
Oh, my worry with that is that there would be just like so many red herrings for it being Afton's house.
I agree. It's a bit weird that it's like super similar, but not. But there's also just as many weird details that are like, this doesn't exactly fit. Why is he orange? Why is the house not right next to Fredbear's family diner?
It's his car though, at least. Like, does the idea keep that orange guy is William, or does it change that?
It would be Andrew's father, a freaking drunk that beats him.
Okay. Doesn't he mention that in the book, or? in the
No, he
books?
never talks
No,
about. We
never
never
talks
hear about
about it.
anything
Yeah.
about Andrew's past.
See, my
Okay.
thing
We don't
is
talk
that
about Andrew Garrett.
it would be interesting, but I mean, Scott said that it was 4 years a difference between Midnight Motorist and learning about Andrew's existence.
Hmm.
Books are meant to solve holes in the past, aren't they?
It's definitely an interesting idea. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it like fully works, but I mean, for the sake of discussion, it's new, and new things are
Yeah.
desperately needed in the community.
Trendy.
Yeah.
Look, you won't let me talk about this the thing that just got revealed about Tales from the Pizzaflex, will you?
We don't talk about Tales from the Pizza Player.
Shut up! You won't let me
well,
say one little thing that just got revealed recently.
Is it like a huge spoiler? or
I
anything?
know it is.
Um,
It is kind of spoiled.
It's somewhat huge. I could be super vague about it.
Does it have to do
Sure.
with Midnight Motorist or Andrew?
No,
No.
it has to do with Fazbear Frights.
Oh, I know what you're talking
So they're
about.
so they're sort of connected.
Let's just say that something from Fazbear Frights is probably going to be resurfacing in one of the first stories of
I
this new
wouldn't
book.
say probably.
Maybe.
You think
like-
certainly?
There was an object in Fazbear Frights which was really prevalent and was like big to the story, and we've got that same object in Tales from the Pizza
Potentially
Player,
same
but we don't
object.
know if
Yeah.
No, it's
I mean,
like
okay.
the same, like, in the real world, it's the same, like, named object.
The thing is,
But we
how
don't know if
often?
it's the same exact object in this.
Weird thing is, how often do two of those things strike twice, like lightning? You know what I mean?
Listen, you know the whole.
I guess.
I have 2 nickels, but it's weird it happened twice. That's basically what this is.
I'm guessing it's the ball pit.
Nah.
No.
Listen,
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Do you want to know what it is?
We should just say it.
Sure,
It's not
why
that bad.
not?
It's not that hard.
I don't
Okay,
care that
it's the pendant.
bad. Oh, the illusion pendants.
maybe.
Yeah, it's
This one heals people
Well,
though.
remnant pendant.
Interesting. Remnant pendant.
Odds are it doesn't actually have any illusion.
Slap
technology.
a trademark on that. Remnant
I
pendant.
personally don't think it will be Eleanor, but
Me neither.
I think it's more likely if it's just like another interesting pendant with qualities. I think it could just be like establishing that these are a thing in this universe. Like you got the illusion
it's-
pendant.
Does
you
that
got the
happen
healing
twice? The
pendant.
same kind of remnant pendant that doesn't
maybe
just
Tales
happen
from the
twice.
Guys,
maybe it doesn't
listen.
mean Eleanor's coming back.
Guys,
the
no, you guys
pendant
are-
is, like, moving
Yeah.
on.
You guys are all idiots. I know what it is. Listen, it's obviously a parallel to Fazbear Frights.
Okay.
Oh gosh, we have a double
Okay.
parallel. But what I'm
Parallel
saying is, yeah, it would be weird if the same thing happened twice, unless like it starts happening more in the future, and it's just sort of establishing it as like this is a kind of tech in this universe. Like,
I agree the
pendant.
tech is there, but not everybody's going to be putting it into a freaking pendant.
Right. But
Hmm.
it seems to be a pattern at the moment.
I'm super excited for Tales of the Pizzaflex because of this pendant.
Let's go to the timeline.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So, Bite of 83, did you like cover that or like stop right before it?
No,
There's not much to cover really.
Okay, I have a bit of a funny haha moment. Since the last timeline episode, a large chunk of what I told you in that episode has changed.
Oh no.
We had a better idea.
Interesting.
But I don't know if you want to hear it or not.
Is it like a
It's like
I'm not really the one to talk. I wasn't
majorly
here.
changing.
Is it going to take 40 minutes to describe?
I don't know. It might take
You
40
don't
minutes to
wanna finish the
understand.
timeline.
It's not that bad.
Can you give us the Spark Notes
my worry
version?
is,
I could sum it up really easy, but I wouldn't be able to give much like information on why that makes sense.
underscore, my worry is, this is episode 2 of the timeline, and you're saying, oh, we changed everything. Then we're going to go to episode 3, and then you're going to go, oh, we changed everything.
Oh, no,
And
we're
it's
done
gonna
changing
continue
everything. Yeah,
forever.
we're done.
All right, let's just get as fast of a summary as you can get with like a few points of evidence to support it along the way.
Yeah.
Without explaining like everything.
In the games, Henry actually did make the Charlie bots.
Interesting.
Really?
Why?
And guess what happened to the fourth one?
What?
Eleanor?
Eleanor's the fourth one.
That makes sense actually.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Plus, 1:35 a.m., we know that at least the first one exists. It's Ella, and that design got reused for Fazbear Entertainment to distribute.
This is true. This is adding up so
Wait.
far. This makes
But
sense.
also, in that story, Delilah is like, oh, it looks like my child.
Keep in
Or it
mind,
looks like
okay,
my idea of a child.
that's interesting. So maybe her illusion tech is running, and she sees what she would envision as a child. But anyways,
Which
keep
would
in
make
mind,
sense
a bit.
for Henry. Like he would use illusion to make it seem like it's his child.
Keep in mind, we've always assumed that William just created illusion tech in the games, but we know for a fact Henry created it because of the Charlie series in the novels.
Interesting.
That is
Plus, Eleanor does not need the pendant to do illusion tech. She has a button on her neck.
That's true.
Does she?
true.
Yes,
Have
she
we-
has a
I
button
feel-
on her neck.
Neck
That
button
does illusion
sounds
tech.
familiar. Have we seen that anywhere else?
What I'm basically saying is, if
AP
she's some
2022.
random entity, what I'm saying is, no random entity has a button on their neck that has illusion tech in them.
That is a
You know
good
what I mean?
point. Yeah, no, that really adds up a lot because obviously in Fourth Closet, the fourth Charlie robot was very similar to Baby, and so is Eleanor, but like neither of them are actually Baby. And it also makes sense, like it gives Henry something to do in the meantime. Like Charlie dies, next time we see him is in FNaF 6. So what he do after Charlie died, it might as well be the same as in the books where we actually know about Henry.
I think the big difference would be that once he learned that Charlie was in the puppet, he probably scrapped the project, but William got a hold of the plans, and he used both the illusion tech and the Funtime design of Eleanor to make Baby in the Funtimes. Because in the novels, Baby is that fourth Charlie. In the games, they're two separate entities.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He used that as inspiration, really.
I like that.
Now, there is a loose thread that we're still following. What happened to Charlie 2 and 3?
That is a good point. Because Charlie 3 is the one that we see in the novel trilogy, which we're not saying is connected.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
All right, that's really all I got, but I like it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That feels like it slides right in.
Yeah.
Like there's yeah.
What makes like the fourth Charlie in the novels different from Eleanor is that the fourth Charlie there has Charlie's fake memories and Elizabeth's soul. This one is empty except for the anger Henry infused into the metal. It makes it a lot more likely for her to be some sort of agony entity than the one that has a soul and has memories.
Interesting.
That makes sense, right?
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we would need a soul to possess Eleanor, and I don't think there is one of those really mentioned.
She's just kind of a freaking entity, like Shadow Freddy or Shadow Bonnie or whatever.
And since the Fazbear Frights really chiefly introduces those kinds of entities through agony, I think that makes sense a lot.
All right, glad I could convince you. I'm super happy. I love that one. That's such a good idea.
All right, so the bite. Little fella gets chomped.
He does get chomped.
Little
That is
fella.
Was that the bite of 87?
No.
Nope.
It was the bite of 83.
That's a big fella getting chomped in the bite of 87.
So
what is like the aftermath of the bite? What do we think happens after it?
well, we know he goes to the hospital and dies there.
Mm-hmm.
And he does die there. We hear the flat line. I don't want to debate this anymore, please.
Listen, no,
He
Inky.
dies in the hospital.
Inky, you don't understand. The flat line is just symbolic.
No.
Okay, for those of you, there was one person in Ozone server who tried to convince us that the flat line was just symbolic.
That's so BS.
Yeah, we're remaining respectful, but like, if it's just reaching, like if you're looking at information presented directly in an obvious way, take it. Not everything. Use Mr. Hippo. Not everything has to be like super complicated. We heard a flat line. He did.
We heard a flat line. He did.
Let's meet some consensus on a certain idea, because I hear a lot of people still really debated about this. What is the Fredbear plush? Not in the ending, just in the core gameplay.
William.
In the core gameplay, I think it's William.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
And there's a mix of it because I think, and this part I actually do think is symbolic, because I don't think there's a reasonable explanation for it. So the Fredbear plush shows up in places that it can't. You know, its head appears on a flower.
It's
I
like
think
funny face.
I think
No.
I don't think there's a huge big agony plotline thing for that. I think that maybe the bite victim sees it everywhere he goes and is like so immersed in like being with it all the time that he's just hallucinating it in multiple places.
It could
like,
just be
It's a friendly face. The face of a friend.
Like,
Ozone.
What do you mean?
Because
like,
just
like Inky, I don't really understand. Like, it's in places
So-
it can't be.
so yeah.
How does that
Let's use Ozone's example. For like friendly face. The main guy, I need to refresh on it before I make my ranking video, which is gonna happen eventually. The main guy gets creeped out by the friendly face and then just starts seeing it everywhere. And I don't think we're supposed to believe that it is literally following him in every single situation that it shows up in.
I mean, there's
Like,
only,
it shows up
a couple.
It shows up a few times, yeah.
It's
So
on
I
every
think
screen, I think.
So yeah, that's what I think is happening with the Fredbear plush as well. Is that he just sees it so often that it's just like a visual hallucination.
I think it's either that or they're quite literally just cameras. Like
I think
everywhere,
it's just
around the neighborhood.
I think it's just cameras
feel like-
around the. I think it's just cameras going around the neighborhood, and the reason it's in weird places is just for like the gameplay purpose of it's still there watching.
disguise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't really take it as literally. It has now become a flower. Like
I think it's either, and I saw a lot of parallels in Friendly Face to this kind of idea.
I agree. It has a similar theme.
I'm a sidekick. I've always liked the idea that it is just kind of there's cameras planted around everywhere, mostly because of the idea that remember freaking Ennard jumping into the sewers? For some reason, I've always had this weird headcanon where the sewers are directly connected to Sister Location.
Oh,
It's how Circus Baby gets back down to fix herself after getting shot out of Ennard, and it's how William planted a Fredbear plush
you know, I
down
like
there.
that. I like that.
It makes sense.
The
Like,
power to their freaking house is controlled by Sister Location.
yeah, the
In the
sewers
breaker room.
make sense to be like sort of a central connecting location. And it makes even more sense when you have to consider that you got Molten Freddy, Scrap Baby, Scrap Trap, Michael, and Lefty just all running around. Like, Michael says he's been living in shadows. We can possibly assume that that might be, like, alleys and sewers.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
mute because there's a lot of background noise currently, and I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, we're saying like the pizza place is Fredbear's, right? But
Yeah.
that all kind of makes sense because Sister Location is there. Freaking, that's where Ennard goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
That means the pizza place would be quite extremely close to the old Afton house. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
yeah.
very,
Well,
very
we've talked
much
about
so.
that because the in Security Breach we've got the Michael room.
Oh
It's
wait, okay.
essentially
Realizing
next
that-
door.
Yeah, realizing that makes the frickin' FNaF 4 house in Security Breach actually a lot less far-fetched in my opinion. I just didn't see that connection all too much until now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that happens when you like from a logistic perspective. That happens because Scott didn't want to put a bunch of screens in between the house and the Fredbear in FNAF 4 minigames.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could have chosen to have like you walk off one screen and it's like shows like I don't know like a little montage of a car, but no, he just like put like a tiny street. Like it's like that map that has been made where it's like
Literally.
an overhead layout. It's literally next door.
Yeah, it's almost interfering with it.
Yeah, it's like overlap.
That's why I really don't think Midnight Motorist can be the FNAF 4 house, because Fredbear's is nowhere to be seen. It's in the middle of nowhere, not even a neighborhood. That's my one grievance with that.
Yeah. But then again, if we want to say that the FNAF 4 title screen's house is the Afton house, that's also sort of in the middle of nowhere.
It's up on some rando hill.
Right.
Hmm.
That I feel would line up more with the Midnight Motorist house.
It's true. What if... Oh, I keep getting sidetracked and not going anywhere, but like keep going back to old stuff.
Psychic is saying it could be the experiment facility on the hill.
I was actually about to say, I didn't exactly say what happened to Andrew. I mean, I did last time, but you weren't here. I didn't say what happened to Andrew after the experiments, okay? What do you think? What happened to him after all the experiments conclude?
Well, in the Fazbear Frights, Andrew sort of says that William killed him.
Yeah.
I
angry, right?
I am yes, William definitely killed him, but I'm assuming that he gets stuffed into the Fredbear suit, especially with convenient timing that it just got decommissioned for the bite.
Interesting.
Making him one of two spirits in Golden Freddy.
But also, if Andrew was experimented on,
so where
then
does that
he was tormented by Afton, and so later on he torments Afton in Ultimate Custom Night.
UCN is poetic vengeance.
Yes, but where would that leave the fifth child?
Cassidy?
Cassidy, yeah.
Good
If
question.
Andrew
Golden duo,
Andrew,
but swap out the crying child with Andrew.
So who does the crying child become?
We're not there yet.
I think it's always been pretty thematically clear that the crying child is at least part of Golden Freddy.
I am willing to contest that.
Interesting.
Ooh. Let's go back on topic.
So after
I had an overarching point and I never got there.
The bite happens.
The bite happens. Is the MCI before or after the bite, do we think?
After, definitely after.
Interesting. So
1985 versus 83.
Yeah, I'd say after.
I'm
MCI
still
in 85.
I'm still a little tricky on this, because it just his friends being the plushies, the girl with the
Yeah.
rumors. I don't know,
Okay,
man.
you want a good explanation for the rumors, which I probably said last
Let
time.
me guess. Andrew.
Andrew got kidnapped. There has been a kidnapping up to this point. That's the rumor. They come to life. Okay, Andrew getting taken away by a spring bunny costume in the middle of the night is closer to the rumors that the girl talks about than the animatronics being possessed.
That is a good point.
They
I
come to life at
suppose.
night and hide your body and never tell. Nobody ever found him.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's also perhaps a good point to mention that the MCI happens at Freddy's, whereas the rumors seem to be at Fredbear's.
Yeah.
That is
I-
a good point.
I love the Android idea so much because every avenue I look, it solves so many weird questions that we've had for freaking ages. Why does William freaking make the crying child have the Fredbear plush?
Hmm.
I kind of want to say that the crying child freaking saw Andrew's murder, but it also
That would make
explains
sense to explain what he's afraid of.
why he's exactly. It explains so much. Oh my gosh!
Hmm.
Carrot time.
Okay. Well, we know
Alright.
something happens
Hi
before the
again.
bite,
Uh,
and the MCI seems to happen after the bite.
85. If
Quickly
you
wanna
consider
say-
the Stitch Trades line, Stitch Trades canon, then 85 for the MCI 100%.
Yeah,
I
agree
really,
with
I
that.
really like this theory, and I think I've put like blankets and stuff over my AC unit, so hopefully there's not as much outside noise anymore. So sorry about
Discord
that.
noise reduction.
I'm no like the thing is it's coming through my microphone, like that on OBS, and that doesn't have
It's
noise
fine.
reduction.
It's fine.
All right.
Let's go.
So,
Um,
what are some other aftermaths of the MCI that I can think of? Or I mean, the bite.
aftermath of the bite. What do you mean?
I mean, like things that happened because of it. Do you think that perhaps the divorce, Afton Divorce,
Is Elizabeth dead at this point as well?
recently we figured that Elizabeth would not be dead yet.
Interesting. So would she
Huh.
be the youngest then?
She would be the youngest, yeah.
So,
Why
I
is
guess
the mangle in the
yeah.
sister's room?
Huh?
that's what I was gonna ask. What's the sister's room?
It's a
Explanation for
prototype
that?
toy or a new character. You know, if you look at Curse of Dreadbear, they've got at least Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, Balloon Boy, and Funtime Foxy as characters at that point. The masks
Mm-hmm.
that
That's
match
what the
the
mask
bullies.
is.
Oh,
That's what
see.
the
So Mangle's around by 83. Not Mangle, but Funtime Foxy, the character.
Oh yeah, I understand Funtime Foxy completely. That makes sense.
So
What doesn't make sense to me is that the sister would have a Funtime Foxy that is basically like broken or whatever, that looks like Mangle, and then like 4 years later or whatever, there's now a Mangle animatronic that's separate. Like that
Oh.
doesn't make sense to me.
Well, there's a kid with a toy Chica toy with no beak, and then 4 years later, there's a actual animatronic with no beak. I don't really know what to say
That's
about
a good
that.
point. And yeah,
remnant from
Kind of call
Dream
forward
Theory?
in a way.
I don't know.
You don't really like to apply what would you call it, like a foreshadowing in a timeline sense when it's literally that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? But
okay.
some sort of weird callback, foreshadowing, whatever.
So I guess the sister's room existing would be to connect Elizabeth to the Afton family before FNaF 6 came out.
Yeah.
Because I think it was initially very clear that obviously before we even knew that. Never mind. No, wait, that's not true.
I
Never
want
mind.
to talk about in terms of the freaking Afton divorce. Consider this. Do you remember the lines from Security Breach? The bots.
Yes.
No.
Well,
Where-
yeah.
It's the weird like divorce conversation between Afton and probably his wife.
Yeah.
And
it isn't
it
a
had to do
FNaF
had
game
to
without
do
some divorce.
It had to do with work, right?
I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I don't remember the lines that much. But do you remember Vanessa's weird cover story in her tapes, in her freaking therapist discs?
Vanessa or Patient 46?
Vanessa specifically, nothing to do with 46.
Interesting.
You're going to have to
Yeah.
remind me of what kind of thing we're talking about here.
The therapist dug into Vanessa's past and figured out that she had lied about most of her
Yes.
past, and it was that she never had a father named Bill, and she never. Basically, the story she told was that her father named Bill had made her badmouth her mother in a custody court case, basically, and her mother killed herself.
Yes, I remember that. I thought that was the Patient 46 though.
That actually, I re-listened to all of 46's tapes recently, and none of that is in 46's tapes.
Interesting. Okay.
That's all Vanessa. So
I do believe that's true.
I feel like that confirms that Elizabeth has to be alive at the time of some sort of Afton family breakup.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Because
I
she
agree
was
with
a big
that.
part of it.
It
And I
also
Yeah.
So it wouldn't
also-
be after she died.
it also adds to the idea that Elizabeth relies so much on William and is like turns to him specifically when she wants like an animatronic. It's like, oh, you made it for me, and it makes sense that the mom's not around to watch her when she goes and gets friggin' destroyed by her.
It makes sense. It makes sense that we've seen like 1983 in so many places and we've never seen Mrs. Afton.
Yeah, all of that combined is kind of one of the reasons I'm putting the divorce as a direct result of the bite happening. So that would mean after the bite.
I
See
actually
what I
agree
mean?
with that.
See what I mean? There's
And
no other
then
big event
the mother
besides Elizabeth's
kills
death.
herself, I assume.
Yeah, and then it's just Elizabeth, Michael,
No.
and Afton left.
Now, do we think Mrs. Afton then went on to possess anyone?
I don't think so.
I don't
really.
think she possesses Ballora, but she's definitely an inspiration for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's connected.
I think she just left.
I'm not too sure about that.
She could always possess Ballora, but we don't have evidence to say she does or doesn't.
That's true.
I think it's more likely that she just left and got away from everything. Which, I mean, lucky
she
her.
killed herself.
Oh, did she? I must have missed that part.
Well, the therapist
That is-
tapes don't say what she did, but it's implied she killed
it's
herself.
very strongly implied that she killed
Oh,
herself. Yeah.
right. We're talking about the therapist tapes. Yeah,
Yep.
she did.
Vanessa's
kill herself.
weird cover story, which
If we
doesn't
are,
match her
yeah.
life.
And if Vanessa is under Glitchtrap's control, it would make sense for William to reuse a story from his past.
Exactly.
To...
Yep.
This
Vanessa.
lore is so complex, man.
I love it. This is so good. It's
As
so
soon
juicy.
as we get into Security Breach, I get really just annoyed because of all the
Yeah.
Vanny, Patient 46.
I am not prepared to cover Security Breach in this timeline project.
That's good.
I'm not doing it. I'm waiting for Tails to drop.
Waiting for
Yeah.
Tails.
Because it would be risky and basically worthless in the long run anyways.
Mm-hmm. And
There's
like
just
Matt Pat has put it well in saying that there's so many pieces saying so many different things that like it's kind of impossible to figure something out right now.
Ooh, I just remembered something. Another kind of little spoilery, but not spoilery from the most upcoming Tales book. It's about Lally's game, the story.
What about it?
The story involves a model who has a husband, and there's something weird about this old vintage trunk he has.
Ooh, the box.
So maybe, but
Oh.
but an even greater implication, Lally is not new. If Lally is in this box, he is from decades ago.
Interesting. So he'd be like one of the sister location little dummy head things.
Well, I'm not
I mean,
sure.
he kind of looks like them.
For some reason, I have a really weird. Everything that I've learned recently is leading me to the weird conclusion that robot kids are coming up a lot more often than it seems usually.
That is true.
Before
There are a
Charlie
lot of
bot
little-
realization,
little-
Lally, maybe Gregory, they're showing up a lot more.
bunch of little robo kids running around that grew up so slowly because they don't at all.
I just wanted to get that out of the way that 1, vintage trunk, maybe the box. 2, Lally, probably ancient.
So if there ends up being parallels to the box, and Lally is in the box, and Lally is a robot child, what does that mean for the games box?
Well, we still don't know if Lally's game is, like, canon or not to
Right,
the games.
but assuming these things
Yeah.
happen and line up,
Mhm.
what would that mean for the box? Would it mean that there's a Charlie bot in there? Would it mean that there's Gregory,
Some robot
perhaps? I don't know, some robot
It would have
kid.
to. It would probably have to be an Afton child, or like it would have to be relevant to Afton, wouldn't it? Considering FNaF 4's context.
Yeah.
But
Definitely think so, yeah.
yeah,
I don't like that the first place my mind goes is Mike Victim and Mike Bot.
okay. The weirdest idea I had when I thought Lally in an old freaking trunk is that what if Afton, like Henry, had tried to recreate the crying child and failed, and that's what Lally is, stored away in the box for decades.
And then if you want to go even further, we could say that
Super
becomes
stretchy.
Gregory.
And then I suppose, yeah, the moment he gets power and security breach, he has someone, regardless if it's Michael or not, he, in a way, Gregory.
And I think it would be Michael. I think if Gregory's a robot, Michael had something to do with it before he died.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We just don't know what's up with Michael yet.
We were talking about like the crying child, like who does he possess if Andrew exists and stuff. And like that does make sense. Putting him in like a box or like making him a robot really early on.
I've never been a fan of the idea that he's just kind of floating in the void of nothingness until someone needs him, like for FNaF World. But
Spoken like
go
someone who
somewhere.
recently floated in a void of nothingness.
under the current idea, technically he would be, he'd have a little bit to do with putting the pieces together in Happiest Day. But other than that, his only big appearance would be as Gregory. If
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But if everything here lines up,
then
which
he does technically just float around for a while until Gregory happens.
that doesn't really sit well with me. But like we're going with these new ideas, so
It hurt.
I'll roll
I
with
used
it.
to hate the idea that he didn't
But
possess
also,
anybody.
it's the kind of thing with like, how does the crying child get from Golden Freddy to Gregory?
Yeah, that would be weird. I think it's a lot easier for him to do that if he was just floating around.
I think it's
Space.
easier if he was put into a robot quite early on.
Now I don't
Perhaps,
think I don't think souls can float around in the FNaF universe because it's established that it seems to be that they
FNaF,
either. Well, that's
irrelevant.
Remnant.
It's irrelevant. That's not it.
It seems to be that there are two states of being for the spirits. If they are like really angry or have something to do with Remnant, they get attached to an object.
What about
If they're not like attached, it just seems like they like ascend. They get put at peace, like in Happiest Day.
So what about the FNaF
I-
3 minigames where they're just floating around?
The FNaF 3 minigames is them being like I think they are still tethered to the animatronics.
Probably.
They just get put to rest in Happiest Day, and that's
It's all
the
about like
But-
projections and stuff, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
The,
Okay, but one more thing. Listen, guys, I have the best evidence that Gregory is the crying child. I mean, he's a boy with a striped shirt and short
No.
hair.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize.
You're
I
welcome.
love how we're not even debating if Gregory is a robot anymore.
We're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's probably
Or
the
crying
crying
child.
child.
I'm
No,
pretty
and it's
sure
not
he
even-
probably is.
And it's not even like a solid thing either. Nothing in Security Breach is like, okay, yeah, we got that. It's like, you know what? This has enough to be probably right. That's
remember
that's all we can
episode
do.
like 2 or 3 where we were like discussing if Gregory was a robot or not, and we were like, this is such a bad theory.
I actually do
I
vaguely
mean-
remember that.
I still don't think it's the best course. But then again, nothing about Security Breach was the best course.
You know,
Um,
True.
I would be
Not even the
super
golf
down. I would be super down to accept the idea that William tethers the crying child's soul to this robot. He gets stuffed in the box for decades. But, like, he's still doing stuff. He's still a part of FNaF World and putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
He just is doing it from this little spot. And consider, at the end of FNaF World, what?
His little
That's just
base.
funny to me.
Little
He's just
base
like
of
in a box,
operations.
like still doing stuff
But-
outside.
Well, at the ending of FNaF World, Charlotte really tells him to just kind of rest. You know what I mean? Or the eyes, I mean. It
But he
depends on who you think
doesn't.
the
That's
eyes
the
are.
thing.
At least, well, it would be really weird to see the robot come out of the box in a Tales from the Pizzaflex story that's maybe a prequel to Security Breach, get released from that robot, or something happens to that robot, and that's how he gets to Gregory. That would be a great origin
like-
story.
Yeah, the very first Tales of the Pizzaflex could be a Gregory origin story.
Or at least a piece of it.
And
A lot of what
we
was
had-
in Stitch
I
Road was
would love,
complex.
I would love for that to happen,
Yeah.
but it will
I'm
not. I'm confident it will not.
Of
happen.
course, like the first story in Fast
FNaF
Fright
is-
is like really
Oh, yeah.
significant. So
Into the Pit is majorly important.
yeah, so
important.
I'm
Lali's
hoping
game
Lali's
is
game will be the
gonna
same.
Yeah.
I agree, but I heavily doubt it'll be. I doubt it'll have that obvious of implications.
Fears can dream.
Just
that
saying,
is true.
A
this
fierce
episode so
king.
far is like more of a Lali's game episode than a timeline.
No, it's
episode.
Well, no, because I would disagree because technically we are still at one place on the timeline because the bite
Okay.
happened and the bite happened. We're talking about the fate of the crying child, which is like a very important thing.
Yeah.
Listen,
But if we want to move
he
past
cried.
that to the MCI,
MCI 85? Demise of the Five
I guess we're
Lives?
operating under 85.
Adon
Yeah, so we
died?
are operating under 85
So underscore Elizabeth before or after?
after.
So you're
After.
saying that there
I have
were
a bit of a
murders at
reason. It
Freddy's-
ties.
So
It
hang on,
ties
hang
into
on.
the
You're-
Criminal Institute.
Hang on, you're saying that the murders happened at Freddy's. Everybody knew about that, and then Circus Baby's Pizza World opened up.
After.
To be
Freddy's
fair,
closed.
Circus Baby's Pizza World is a very
Closed.
different IP from Freddy's.
Yes.
So
And
could be
it does say that
I
It
am-
has
it
a
opened.
Freddy Fazbear.
It
I am
said-
It
stating
does,
that
but he's not
it
the main
is.
focus.
And in FNAF Sister Location, it says like after the massively successful but unfortunate closure of Freddy Fazbear's.
Well, that's.
I've always
that,
that's
that
the
one
rental.
doesn't really matter. That one seems more like it's about
talking
when the
about-
most recent Freddy's closed compared to when Stitch Location's actually happening. You know what I mean?
I think I've always taken that as talking about the rental service. I think
Uh-huh.
I've always held the opinion, and I'm open to change it because of information we get. I've always held the opinion that Circus Baby's Pizza World happens in the 80s, Sister Location happens in the 90s after FNAF 1, with the rental service being like way after Pizza World.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm figuring that the closure that they might be talking about in Stitch Location is probably the FNAF 1 location, assuming Stitch Location's right after that.
Which I think it is because of Molten MCI.
Yeah.
But we see the Fazbear's Fright in Sister Location.
What are you talking about?
In the cutscene at the end.
Fazbear Fright's burning down. Well, it's a call forward. I'm gonna come
Yeah,
find you.
that's,
He's found him and he burned him down, but it didn't work.
That cutscene takes place right after FNAF 3, I think.
Well, definitely.
Right after? Oh,
No,
yeah, okay.
The Springtrap
Yeah.
cutscene.
But I don't... Okay, actually, it doesn't
I
make
have
sense
a-
that it was after, but...
I have a
That
reason
could-
to put Circus. You first.
When you think about it, we really put Sister Location right after FNAF 1 for convenience, but if we operate under the essentially fact that the end cutscene of Sister Location takes place right after FNAF 3, it's really, unless I'm wrong, unless I'm forgetting any pieces of evidence, it's really possible that Sister Location could be anywhere from right after FNAF 1 all the way to right before FNAF 3.
That's
yeah,
what I'm
that-
saying.
Let me check my thing for a second.
So,
Rentals.
okay, while you do that, my thought was always that it came directly before FNAF 3 because of that cutscene. And then, like,
Interesting.
in that cutscene, Michael says, like, I've found her or whatever, I've put her back together, I'm
Yeah.
gonna come find you, and then goes to the Fazbear's Fright.
I guess it would make sense for him to have a shorter journey than a longer one. Like, what
Or
was he
it
gonna
could
do
Yeah,
for
like,
about-
what is he doing for 30 years?
Well, he's either
That's
rotting
crazy.
for 30 years or chilling for 30 years. I mean, take your pick.
I don't think he'd be chilling if he has this big message speech to his father. I'm gonna come find you. Like,
Yeah,
it'll be hard to find him, but if they've lived in the same area their whole lives, I can't imagine it would take him too long to go, Fazbear's Fright? They have this animatronic fella? Alright.
I put Sister Location as late 90s on my timeline, but in all honesty, it could be anywhere from late 90s to early 2020s, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Anywhere in that range.
with this, it comes with a sacrifice. Because
The greatest choices require the strongest.
Okay.
the sacrifice in going under this assumption is that Mike can't be the protagonists of FNaF 1 and 2.
I think he is, though.
Wait, why can't he be?
Because if Sister Location happens... Oh, wait, no, you're right.
What are you smoking,
Never mind.
guy?
I was thinking that FNaF 1 and 2 was part of his quest to find Afton. But it
Yeah, I
doesn't,
was
it
about to
doesn't
say,
have to be.
so what is his motivation?
I think he's probably looking...
Just getting money.
he's actually
you
just
know,
working at
he's
FNaF 1 and 2 just to earn money.
He's probably not a regular worker.
I feel like FNaF 1, 2, and Sister Location are all his attempts to clean up the mess, and after those are done, the mess is cleaned like mostly, you know what I mean?
Well,
So now it's time to go find William. Yeah,
But
he thinks it's clean.
The thing is about that underscore is that we know because of the ending speech that Afton told Michael to find Elizabeth. Right?
Right?
Yep. Yeah, you told me where she'd be or whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
So why would he
was Afton sorry.
Why would he start trying to undo all of his father's evil, then go and fall pretty much what could be assumed to be a trap? Like, why would he oblige to his father's request after knowing and trying to fix everything he's done?
Well,
maybe Afton sent Michael to repair what he has done to his like reputation.
It could be like
we don't know when William sent the message.
It could just be like, oh, I want to save my sister like I saved everybody else.
That is possible.
It could also be that he kind of prioritized the less risky things versus the more risky thing. It's less risky to go and mess with FNaF 1 and 2 than it is to potentially walk into an underground bunker trap.
I don't know, because I don't know.
You know, out of context,
if the message came very early, like let's say Mike goes to FNaF 2 and FNaF 1, if he got the message to go to Elizabeth first, like if that happened first, that he got that message, I don't see why he would wait that long. Like, he knows where it is clearly because his dad tells him. So, I don't know. It just it doesn't make a ton of sense for him to just wait around.
It could be because they couldn't find William for that long.
Yeah, I'm really figuring that the message is pretty late on, and that's why he never knew to do that until now.
It's like they couldn't find William for 30 years. They find him in the FNaF 1 location, I assume.
Yeah.
Bring him to Fazbear's Fright, and then freaking Michael hears about it, and then there you go.
Well, that's how he finds him for the Sister Location ending speech. But how are you saying that the message to go get Elizabeth comes in between there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just going to say it's, somewhere around FNaF 1. He completes FNaF 1. He's like, okay, time to go do that. That's why I put it late 90s.
FNaF 1.
Yeah.
He
beat Five Nights at Freddy's.
It makes sense, like, if the Circus Baby's Pizza and Rentals is opening up at around that time, it could be that he got an job opportunity there to, like, that's a perfect opportunity to go down there.
We know other guards worked there. Maybe the position wasn't open.
I love
he couldn't have had an excuse to go down there and just snoop around, so he had to get a job there.
What do you love, Ozone?
I love the option that Michael just works for cash.
That's so. Hey, he's down for that cash basket. I mean, what can you say?
Michael got that minimum wage, though.
I love it. He just chooses to work at Freddy's twice for money.
He was just fired because he stank.
Gosh, he's homeless.
Wow.
He's totally homeless.
He definitely is at that point.
Alright,
So we
MC.
sort of definitely. I mean, we kind of covered what happens right after the MCI on the timeline, so we can really quickly gloss over it. Even like we know the kids die, the puppet puts them into the animatronics, they're possessed.
It's the 5: Gabriel, Fritz, Cassie, Susie, Golden Freddy. I mean,
And-
Frick.
The kid named Golden Freddy.
What
I
order
think
do they come in?
I don't think it matters.
Wait, no,
Does-
there is an order. I have it.
There is an
Where do
order.
I have it?
There's an
Wait.
order, but like, why does it
No.
matter?
I know the order. I know the order.
It
It's
doesn't,
explained
but
in Security Breach.
In Security Breach, there is an order.
Security Breach
I also know
establishes
the
an
order.
order of how they died. I gotta go find it though, because it's
Doesn't
in
it
my
happen all
timeline.
at once though?
No. Susie was the first. Remember?
William just
Yes.
like gathered a group of 5 kids, like, come to my room, then like let off.
That's
an
how
Okay.
I've
explosion or
always
something.
seen it. But
Gabriel?
maybe he took them to the back one at a time. I guess it was all like
Wait.
one event, but just different. I don't know. That's how I've seen it.
Wait. Okay. I think I have the
Okay.
order.
Sort of like how it is. Funnily enough, in the Living Tombstone, It's Been So Long video, where he goes around like collecting the kids, and then takes them to the back.
I'm just gonna go around and
Ding.
collect the kids.
Ding.
I mean, is
Ding.
that? Am I wrong? Is that not what he did?
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, go on underscore with the.
Frick,
the
I
order.
lost the thing. I don't know where it is.
No,
I know what
I know what you're
it
talking
is.
about. I know it's the balloons.
It's
Yeah,
the
Oh,
balloons.
1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
It goes up to 10, I think.
It might
Oh.
be Gabriel,
Well, 9.
Jeremy, Susie, Fritz, and then Cassidy. I think that's the order, but I'm not sure.
I thought Susie was first.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't find
I thought
it.
it, I thought it
It's
was.
the
I thought it was Susie, Jeremy, Gabriel, Fritz, Cassidy for the
Susie,
order.
Jeremy, Gabriel, Fritz, Cassidy. There you go. Yeah, that's it.
That's what I just.
Yeah.
I found it.
Susie
found it.
has to come first.
So I was
anyway.
right?
No, I found it the moment you were saying it. Yeah, you're right.
Let's go! I said something smart for once.
Susie, Jeremy.
I
Susie,
don't
Jeremy,
understand.
Fritz.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
it
okay?
really doesn't. So I don't know why they're putting such emphasis on it. That's the
Because
weird
I
thing.
want to.
Well,
Well,
not you. I mean them. Like it's clearly Chica says she's the first.
and then in
It shows up
FNaF,
again in Security Breach.
no, in FNaF VR
Like,
for a pizza party, you see that Chica and Bonnie have their heads on, but Freddy doesn't, and you're Gabriel in that game. So then you know Gabriel's third, and then you can assume Bonnie's second.
that does add up. Yeah.
And then you can assume
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can assume that Cassidy's the last one because you know like storytelling. So
Yeah.
then it's Fritz Cassidy.
I was the last. I saw nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah. It just
MCI.
seems like the games are trying to make the order important, and I don't see how or why they would be.
It's literally something you could totally miss in Security Breach. I don't think it's actually that big if you could almost miss it.
I mean, yeah, but like most Easter eggs tend to have importance.
I love the details, man. I need
It's
years
just
for
to
things and I need
answer,
orders.
like a fan.
It's nice. I
question.
just don't know what the point. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
There
Someday.
is no point, my guy.
There's no point.
There is
You
no
know,
point.
I should stop looking for points in FNaF lore.
All right, let's move on.
So
So-
Michael goes. Well, we got Jeremy
No,
first.
I've
Jeremy.
got no. I got something even before then.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
We haven't talked about Elizabeth's death yet.
Oh, that is true.
Remember,
Okay.
I said it was after the MCI, but before FNaF 2.
Yeah.
That seems like a good place. I can.
There
I can
and
I'm down with that.
there's one big reason for that. And it-
1986.
it all comes it all comes back to the Criminal Institute.
That's familiar. What?
Everybody knows that William
Evergreen Laboratory.
killed the kids. Everybody knows it, right?
Right?
At least that's what the novels kind of told us. Everybody knows it, but they can't prove it. So he gets
Yeah.
away. I'm figuring that means that Evergreen knows he did it too. So they are going to approach him and tell him, "Hey, you got this big franchise going on. Why don't you do a little partnership with us, okay?"
And then Afton Robotics is created.
He's got Afton Robotics. He's going to take the designs for the Charlie bots, make the fun times with Baby, and everything plays out as such with Circus Baby's Pizza World.
I like that. I still find it kind of. I don't know whether I find it goofy or just like a good kind of funny that FNaF just has this like League of Evil Scientists.
The League of
True
Evil.
villain.
Friggin' Love Muffin from Phineas and Ferb. League of what was it? League of Villainous Evil something united for frightening acts of naughtiness or whatever. I forget the exact acronym, but it's
Anyways.
Love Muffin.
I know, but like it's so weird, but it works. This weird other company
It
doing
does.
things from the background, it works so
Funny.
well, especially in context with Security Breach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Circus Baby's Pizza World happens. Elizabeth dies.
Gets
Closes
scooped.
because of leaks. Closes because of gas leaks, quote unquote. Haha,
Quote, unquote.
funny. Afton sort of goes into the background. No, he goes to FNaF 2 for Save Them, doesn't he?
So yeah, after Circus Baby's Pizza World, skip ahead a few years and it's FNAF 2.
How does Save Them fit in? Because it is an event that I feel is so often overlooked.
FNAF 2 is in the summer of 1987. William works a week of night shift and is moved to the day shift.
For money.
The-
money.
For money.
Honestly,
sure.
Probably, yeah. If his partnership with Evergreen falls apart, Circus Babies falls apart, he might need cash.
Keep in mind, if he's not running Circus Babies right now, Dr. Little is.
William just needs.
I hate that, but you're right.
Which they probably, start hiring security guards, and it's Dr. Little running the place, probably distributing animatronics and whatever.
Mhm.
It's weird,
Making
but whatever.
No, I like the idea that Dr. Little is the owner of Circus Babies Pizza and Rentals.
He's probably the one dude that like William was dealing with in terms of Evergreen.
Yeah, and it makes sense because William's not around to since he gets spring locked, so someone has to be
Yeah.
running the show.
So, let's see. Save Them. After William gets transferred to day shift, keep in mind in the FNAF 2 phone calls, phone guy talks about a day shift worker a lot. That's William.
Yeah.
The day guard.
Oh,
So,
okay.
on like night 2 or 3, or day 2 or 3, I mean. No, my timeline says third day, so I guess it's the third day. He frickin' kills 5 kids and skips town.
Oh, wait. Wait,
Save Them.
So working in light, killing by night.
What the frick are you on? Yes, but
Working
why
in
does it
light.
have to be so
Whatever
poetic?
whatever Ozone's on, I'll take 20.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, buddy.
Psychic becomes a FNAF genius.
I'm already a genius. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, this is an interesting, good. It's flowing. It's starting to flow. Everything's starting to connect. I think it can definitely be criticized and poked holes in because like it's a lot more speculative as far as evidence, but I think that's what it needs to be at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Everyone tries to cram the evidence into their own thing,
I don't.
which makes
think
it not
you'll-
really evidence anymore because
I don't
there's so
think
many
you'll
different
find
ways you can
any
look at it.
theories that like aren't
Solve
speculative
everything,
anymore.
yeah.
What I have been doing recently is so, I don't want to say revolutionary, I just want to say super radical. These massive ideas, but for me, they're feeling so good for some reason. They are working well.
Yeah.
The Andrew stuff, the Eleanor stuff, it's all
And
going
that's
really
really
weird somehow.
what FNAF needs, like a story element to it.
Well,
Radical change shifts.
Yes. Idea-based theories work to sort of get hype back into the theory community because people are literally done with trying to shove evidence into it.
Yeah.
Which sounds bad because obviously you want to use evidence to solve things, but FNAF has become so convoluted that you just can't anymore. Security Breach proved that.
I'm just waiting for Scott to just be like, hey, look, here's a document full of the entire FNAF timeline.
Frick that.
This
I
Google
want to write
Docs.
that document.
It's just a Google Docs.
It's like 700 pages.
The sacred Google Doc.
Every detail.
And I think it would be underwhelming, but possible if like I have a feeling, and I might just not have enough faith in Scott for this. I have a feeling that the community has probably written more of a timeline than he has. Like as far as like all the little details, I think he's got the big story beats, and he's got the Easter eggs, and he's got the timeline more or less.
I think he's even overlooked things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the community has like found more things that are important to the story than he realized, and are trying to fit them in places that he never thought they would be.
Yeah.
All right. Save them.
So I almost feel like a big timeline doc could be underwhelming for the community because like that's it.
Super underwhelming. My job is gone if he drops the timeline doc.
Yeah.
I mean,
All of our jobs are gone.
it could just be like it's nice to just have it be done, so like you can move on.
One day, on Scott Cawthon's deathbed, if he could do that, that would be awesome.
I
He'd be
don't
a
want to
champ
move
for
on.
that.
I'm like the one you should not have killed.
No,
Okay,
I mean
buddy.
like you can like Scott can move on and work on like a new story with the because like
I mean, yeah,
Using past characters, a new story
a new
Okay.
story, just like
They like
Security Breach,
Security Breach.
guys.
Like
Oh
the
my
novel
gosh.
trilogy all over again.
with unused content.
Guys, I can't wait for Security Breach to be a new soft reboot story based on
Anyways, save them.
save,
Save
them.
them. A bunch of kids died, they're the toy animatronics, yeah?
An investigation starts, and basically the place gets closed during the summer. Also, I am figuring, it's a bit of speculation, the agony from this event is what makes Shadow Bonnie. Shadow Bonnie still bugs me a lot.
It is shaped like Toy Bonnie.
Exactly. That's the only reason I put it here, as like, the,
Yeah.
Into the Pit Spring Bonnie is agony from the first MCI, Shadow Bonnie is agony from the second one.
Now, what could be an explanation instead for that is, hey, entertain this idea. Let's say Into the Pit Spring Bonnie and Shadow Bonnie are the same thing. And
Oh,
when
no.
Into the Pit Bonnie dies, it becomes Shadow Bonnie.
Why would you say that?
Because I think
Why would you say such a thing?
I think we can
How
connect them.
audacious.
I think we can connect them because if you think about it, Shadow Bonnie looks like Toy Bonnie for the sole reason that Toy Bonnie was the only complete Bonnie design in FNaF 2.
I have agreed with that idea for quite a long time.
I also agree with that.
So I think it's
I
supposed to
disagree with
represent.
that.
I think it's supposed to represent Spring Bonnie. There was just no Spring Bonnie model at the time.
But I still think that the core concept of Shadow Bonnie and Into the Pit Spring Bonnie, they're completely different, like, entities and how they work.
Hmm.
Into the Pit Spring
FNaF
Bonnie has latched onto the MCI memory and is
Yeah.
chilling in the pit until 2015. Shadow Bonnie is
think-
ever present.
I
think the
suppose.
FNaF 4 minigames kind of just show, kind of like metaphorically, that the shadow animatronics are just kind of like projections of the spring locked
agony.
animatronics. Yeah, kind of agony, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still bugged that it's Toy Bonnie's model.
I am 100% confident that does not matter and it's just
That
supposed
was
to
just a
represent
design
Spring
choice
Bonnie.
at the time.
I'm not
Because there
exactly
was-
certain when Shadow Bonnie gets formed.
Yeah.
He gets
And
formed
Shadow Freddy.
in
we
like
know
20 something when this guy plays an arcade game and breaks it because he's angry.
and then he gets stabbed
Then he stabs himself,
in a very anticlimactic ending.
as we all aspire to.
Shadow
do.
Bonnie canonically freaking terrorizes that
And he
guy and
smiles.
he's dead.
Mhm.
What about Shadow Freddy? He has like always been an enigma. We've
I
got
wanted
Shadow
to-
Bonnie more or less under wraps. What's the deal with that?
No,
with that
I
foil?
feel like I got
Princess
Shadow
Quest.
Freddy totally wrapped up. Nah, what?
Oh really?
What?
Princess Quest.
What about Princess Quest? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Cassidy like hits the torch and then she splits into gold and purple.
That's a good point.
It
I haven't
represents Golden
thought
Freddy
about
and
that all
Shadow
too
Freddy.
much yet.
So
Still
are we
can't do the
saying
Cassidy, I
that
think.
Golden Duo could manifest not just in like two spirits, one quote unquote animatronic? That would solve the issue of Golden Freddy being more of a ghost than a physical suit. Most of the times we see it, not all the time. The physical suit does exist, but most of the time we see it, it seems to be a ghost. So perhaps Golden Duo could be embodied by Golden Freddy and Shadow Freddy.
I have a bit of an explanation I don't think I've ever told about Shadow Freddy, but it'll take us
And-
a bit backwards.
And
Just what we talked about earlier.
we do want to make sure we are probably running a bit out of time in case we want to move to a part 3 sometime later.
Oh my gosh, part 3 of the timeline.
Bruh.
It's the FNAF timeline. What were we expecting, guys?
And remember, guys, next time underscore's gonna be like, I changed everything.
Let's not change everything. No. By then, Lally's game will be out and everything will be up in the air. By the way, so
When does Lolly's game come out? It's this summer, right?
I don't know.
July, sorry. July 19th.
Yeah.
I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about
That's
that,
not bad.
I'm so excited to have books again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember back, like,
Inky.
we were like, oh, man, you know what, maybe
Shut
we
up, you need to
shouldn't
read
have...
Felix the Shark.
Yeah, we also
Books,
need to fix
the
it.
books are the best part of the franchise.
They are.
It's just not a contest anymore. FNaF is a book series.
FNaF is a book series.
I want more novel trilogy. I love those books.
Yeah, I think either would be good. I think I do
Classic.
like the short story format a bit more.
Yeah,
They're
me
able to do
too.
more with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
Also, I just find it funny how, like, a little, like, I remember back when we first got the books, like, do we really need more books? I mean, it's a little much, you know. And then we're all like, yeah.
That
more
was like
books.
in the dark ages, like Blackbird and the Cliffs, where we were like, are these going downhill? Do
The
we
thing
need
is-
more?
They
They
got
were,
so
and then they
much-
got good again.
Yeah, they got so much better again.
The thing is, what else are we gonna get?
True. I mean, games take so long to develop nowadays.
Yeah, it's like
DLC,
nice to
I
fill the
guess.
gap with that.
I feel like FNaF is on the path of like a franchise game. Obviously, it's the franchise, and I think it's on the path of like it gets a game every few years. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like
Oh,
Zelda
yeah.
or Mario or
Definitely.
Pokemon. Well, Pokemon has a lot more consistency.
Pokemon is a little bit too consistent, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
FNaF Sword and Shield.
FNaF Sword and
No, no. Oh no.
FNaF Legends Arceus.
FNaF Legends like Spring Bonnie or something.
FNaF Legends Spring Bonnie.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh. It's an open world Fredbear's experience. It's open world, but you're only in Fredbear's.
Open world FNaF. Oh my god.
It's just a really big pizzeria.
Imagine you get to like be William Afton and like build the animatronics and stuff.
You get to kill kids.
Bro, William Afton Simulator?
William Afton Simulator.
This is a terrible idea. We should probably stop.
Remnant Farm Simulator.
And remember,
No.
I think that's where we're gonna end off. And remember, if you like murdering kids, make sure to hit that subscribe button for
But guys,
more.
guys, I need to optimize my strat. I need to get the soul output to 50% or higher.
Oh boy.
Wait,
it's like one of those tycoon
Souls-
games. Where
Yeah, it's
Remnant,
just-
Remnant Tycoon.
Child murder tycoon.
Do,
Child
do
murder
souls
tycoon.
do souls in FNaF like work like Minecraft experience?
It
You die
does.
and it spreads out.
Oh no!
You die and it
That's
just goes.
exactly how it works. What's wrong
And then you like power yourself up by collecting it.
Oh, William just ate a bunch of kids' souls. He can go enchant his diamond pickaxe now. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, so what did we cover today, guys? We covered everything from the aftermath of the bite, into the MCI, into Circus Baby's Pizza
We did.
World, into FNAF 2. And we also covered pretty much Mike's motivation and path of whatever, wherever he went, and even a little bit of Security Breach with the fate of the crying
We covered
child.
the bite of 83 to the bite of 87.
We actually did. Why don't we do that? Why don't we like touch on the bite of 87 really quick at the end, just so we can say we did that?
We did not talk about the bite of
Frontal
87.
lobe go chomp, and then he lives.
So do we
That's
think
the
it?
bite of 87?
Do we still think it happened to Jeremy Fitzgerald
Yes.
via Mangle?
Yes.
I
All
think
right.
it happened to
Yeah.
your mom.
There we go. Bite
And
of
then Fritz-
87, bite of 83 to bite
And
of
then Fritz
87.
Smith takes his place before the place closes, but Fritz is actually just a Michael alias.
And this is
Yeah.
the second Jeremy in the timeline.
There's more to come.
More to come.
And I guess that means we're gonna have to push this to a part 3, aren't we?
Yep, there's more to come. Is like just the thesis for this series. There's more.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Dark Rooms
We'll
podcast.
see you
There's
next
more.
year for episode 32 of the timeline.
Oh boy. Well, thank you so much for watching this episode or listening to it, I guess. Thank you for being a part of this episode. And yeah, we still don't know how to do outros. See you next time.
You know what? I know how to do outros. From now on, let's just I can take the outro position. Are we good with that, fellas?
No.
I've been Ozone, and I have to go zone.
Okay.
I've been Psychic, and I'm gonna go bye kick.